Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be discussing some of the most annoying ADHD assumptions. So I've gone over to my Instagram and I've asked all my fellow ADHDers, what are the most annoying assumptions that you have been kind of targeted with, what people have said to you about your ADHD. We're going to be discussing them and kind of like debunking them, because some of them are just so like ridiculous. You only need a little bit of common sense to actually work out that that is not even true. So first, if you could smash me a big thumbs up down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll forever be grateful. So let's get on to the assumptions. So one of the first assumptions that I got was actually like, I could totally relate because I've had it said to me before, and it's you can't control your ADHD. Okay, we can control our ADHD with the help of medication. That doesn't cure ADHD, that doesn't get rid of ADHD. It helps us build skills and, you know, it helps us learn how to cope with our ADHD. It doesn't help us control our ADHD. There's a difference between kind of like coping and controlling. So for me, I can't control my ADHD. Sometimes the way someone speaks to me, the way I am approached, the environment that I'm in, the clothes that I'm wearing, anything like the smallest things that other people take for granted, that don't matter, don't bother them, bother me hugely, and it triggers my sensory kind of processing disorders that I've got, and it makes my anxiety high, which then makes my ADHD traits even more kind of dominant, because that's how it comes out. I can't communicate how I'm feeling because I really struggle with communication. So this assumption is something that I have actually dealt with personally. So this goes with gender. I have been affected because my gender is female. I have been affected by this assumption. So I know how this person is feeling when she types it to me. So it says, people thinking I'm lying because I'm not full of energy all the time. So a lot of people literally associate ADHD with like bouncing off the walls and the hyperactivity. And okay, a lot of people with ADHD do have, you know, they do have more energy than those without ADHD. But the thing is, not everyone with ADHD has unlimited amounts of energy or really kind of high amounts of energy. Not everyone's ADHD is the same. My mind is more hyperactive than my physical kind of behaviour. I am way more hyperactive up here, as in I need to be doing something, I need to be stimulated up here constantly, otherwise I'm losing interest, I'm getting bored, I'm then like trying to seek stimulation from things that can be dangerous to me, dangerous to others. I become more fearless, reckless, and you know, you don't have to be hyperactive, as in physically hyperactive, to fit the ADHD criteria. Our minds are way more hyperactive. So some people just aren't hyperactive as in physically hyperactive. So remember that not everyone is going to be hyperactive like physically. So another version of the one before is, why are you always so tired? I thought ADHD means you're always hyper. So again, just like before, it's super dangerous to just naturally assume that everyone's going to be like bouncing off the walls. When you have ADHD, like I just said, our minds are constantly on the go. When you have ADHD, right, it's almost like living with a mind that is constantly in fast forward mode. Like on the TV, when you think something's boring, you go da-na-na-na, and you fast forward the boring bits, right? That is how our mind is, right? If we lose interest and we're like zoom, 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 and our mind's like, what can we do now? What can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? Like, we overthink everything, and like the whole kind of like our mind's just basically on overdrive. Like we're just always on the go. It makes sense to me that when your mind's like that, we are going to be exhausted. Like, where's the energy coming from when our mind's constantly like on the go? It's dangerous to assume everyone's got like boundless amounts of energy, because it just doesn't work like that. So this one is, only boys that didn't get enough attention as a child can have ADHD. I mean, I've heard that kind of assumption in a variation of different like phrases and statements, but basically like that's just ridiculous. So another assumption is ADHD is not a thing anymore when you reach adulthood. Bloody hell, I wish that was true. I wish like when you turn, I don't know, 16, like bam, it disappears. Like, as soon as you hit like young adulthood, is that not 16, it'd be 18, wouldn't it? Like, as soon as you hit 18, like, it disappears and like it goes. Oh my god, how easy would my life, I mean, my life would be so much easier now if I didn't have ADHD. But then again, I wouldn't be me, I wouldn't be where I am right this minute, and I'm pretty happy where I am. So anyway, yeah, I mean, that isn't true. I was diagnosed as an adult. I was completely missed as a child. So yeah, that assumption is just a load of beep. It's not true. So the next one is that my child is naughty and it's just because of my bad parenting. No, that is not true. So I have the most amazing parents, and this lady that I've who's put this through, I know that you're probably an amazing parent. You know, if you're, you know, I don't know how or who decided that this assumption has any kind of scientific like fact behind it, because it's just absolute shit. This one, I mean, this one I have actually been affected by, and I've had it said to me so many times. I only got a message yesterday on Instagram telling me I'm a retard and that I just needed a good smack. So this assumption, I know it's out there still. In the 21st century, people still use this. So the assumption is, in my day, you just needed a good smack. Okay, I mean, for me, I think, and again, I'm not a parent, this is my opinion, so my opinion on these assumptions are mine. You don't have to accept it, you don't have to agree with me, but my opinion is, if you smack your child, show your child violence when you don't agree with their behaviour, or you don't like how they're behaving, so if you go and smack them because they won't clean their room, that child is going to learn that in order to get their feelings across, they have to use violence. And to me, that's not right. Like, you should never smack a kid, ever, regardless if it's naughty or not. Like, I don't even believe in the word naughty, because for me, behind every behaviour, there is a reason. So for me, like, if a child's feeling overwhelmed, they're going to show it in other ways, because a child at like 3 or 4 isn't going to be, oh mummy or daddy, I'm feeling very overwhelmed. Like, that just won't happen. They're going to use behaviour as a way of communicating how they're feeling. So going just to smack a child because they're misbehaving, what are you teaching them? Not to express how they're feeling, not to try and communicate how they're feeling the only way they know how to? Or are you just teaching them for every time they don't agree with what's being said, go smack the person, go whack them? No, I just don't agree with this. And for the other part, ADHD has always been around. So ADHD has been around for centuries and centuries and centuries. It's just never been as understood as it is today. And even though today it doesn't feel like it's that understood, if you go back like, I don't even know, like 50 years, it was literally like not a thing. Like, people really didn't even know. So for me, I don't agree with this assumption in the slightest. I think it's just a load of absolute poo. If anyone smacks their kid, okay, that's your opinion, that's your choice, that's your child, not my problem. But I totally do not agree with ever raising a hand, or actually to anyone. I don't agree with violence at all. So for me, I mean, I just think smacking your kid because they're naughty, to me, that is a bad way of parenting. I don't agree with it. I don't. So I totally understand this one, and it is that I'm distracted by shiny things and I'm less intelligent because I'm easily distracted. Okay, so I don't get this either. Like, shiny things to me, I mean, I don't even give a shit about shiny things. I could literally walk past a shiny thing and not even like blink an eyelid. Like, things like that I don't understand. But the thing is, I don't get easily distracted by shiny things, and obviously this person doesn't either. And another thing that really gets on my nerves is you see memes about like ADHD that, oh, squirrel, like what the hell, squirrel? I don't even give a shit about squirrels. Like, who cares? I don't even have the time of day to sit and concentrate to even think about a squirrel. I honestly, I don't know. And this assumption, like, I can understand why someone's put it down as like one of the most annoying, because I don't know where it comes from. People with ADHD, right, It's not that we're easily distracted, it's not even that. We focus on too many things at once. So if we're in a room, right, and we're, I don't know, we're learning something on the board, we're concentrating on the board, people don't realise we are listening into, like, the teacher talking, the person over there having a chat about their granddad's, I don't know, car, and then we're listening over there to someone what they had for dinner the other day, and we're listening behind. We can zone into like 5, 6 different conversations, right? And people wonder why we get distracted, because actually we focus way too broadly on everything else. It's not that we're easily distracted, we just can't focus on one thing. There's just a variety of reasons why we can't, I don't know, concentrate. Like, yeah, I can understand why that's down on one of the most annoying assumptions, because it's annoyed me. So this one, again, I've heard it many times. Everyone is a little bit ADHD. Are they really? Or are we just now pretending that ADHD isn't actually a diagnosis? For me, okay, and again, controversial, my opinion, I've got to state this, but when it comes to other illnesses, other conditions, I never hear these type of like stigmas. So for me, I don't ever hear anyone going around like saying, oh, everyone's got a little bit of cancer, or everyone's got a little bit of blindness, or everyone's got a little bit of deafness. No, I actually never hear any of that. So why is it okay for people to like stigmatise and joke about ADHD as if it doesn't impact anyone's day-to-day life? Like, my life is hugely impacted by ADHD, and I know I'm not the only one. So why is it okay for people to automatically assume, oh, we're gonna say everyone's got it? Because no. So the next one is, you only listen when you want to. Doesn't everyone only listen when they want to? Like, I'm sorry, but how is this about ADHD? Like, to me, I know full well, right, my granddad does not have a diagnosis of ADHD, nor do I even think he's got it, right? But he will pick and choose when he wants to listen. Like, if he's watching TV, right, and he don't want to listen to what you're saying, he'll be like, meh, yeah, Like, I'm not being funny, people, every human picks and chooses when they want to, what they want to hear, what they don't want to hear. So it's called selective hearing, not ADHD hearing. So yeah, this one really bugs me, and it is that we are lazy. To me, I mean, sometimes I can be lazy, but that's nothing to do with my ADHD. Actually, my ADHD makes me want to get up, and my just me being human is like, I can't be bothered today. That's got nothing to do with my ADHD. My ADHD actually wants me to be doing stuff like 24/7. It wants me to be productive, but my executive function kind of skills, they lack because of my ADHD. So it doesn't make me lazy, it just sometimes makes things a little bit harder, more challenging, and more kind of time consuming. It's a lot, like, basically our life is so exhausting. Everything we do takes so much effort and so much more kind of processing time. Like, oh, getting started on a project, like, oh my god, crikey, that is hard. So that is exhausting, and it might look like I'm being lazy, but I'm trying to bloody figure out how the hell I'm going to do it, and like where to start and what to prioritise. So this one, again, I can kind of be on the opposite side of this. So this one is, but you were well behaved in school. I was like as you guys know, I was a little terror in school, and I still wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was 21. So I don't think it matters about your behaviour or how well you behaved in school. I think it generally is if you have good teachers or not, if they can pick up traits of ADHD, if they're well educated on ADHD and neurological disorders, and they can pick up on other things. Like, yeah, I don't think behaviour is a true indicator of ADHD. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it probably seemed that I didn't have like a lot of energy. The thing is, I've just gotten over the flu and I'm getting back into the swing of things now. So yeah, I can barely hear out my ears, and I mean, I'm just sat in here and I'm absolutely hot because I have a temperature. It is not coronavirus, I've took many tests, but I'm finally getting better, and I wanted to get out here today and make a YouTube video for you guys. So I hope you kind of understand this video, and I hope it educated some people on what is ADHD and what is not ADHD, and these assumptions are just pure bullshit. Let me know down below some other video ideas and anything else. Let me know what assumptions you've been targeted with, what ones you agree with, if you agree with my opinions. Like, let me know. I want to know. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.